4 daily habits that will only take you a minute, but will save you 30 hours a week. Every day I say to myself, and you say to yourself, "Oh, time goes by so fast. 24 hours is not enough to do everything I want in my day." Not only you and I, but many people waste their time every day. According to recent statistics for the year 2023, an average of watching videos on Netflix about 3.2 hours per day per user. That is an average of 6 billion hours per month for all Netflix users. And it turns out that each of us spends about 2.5 hours on the means of communication, whether chatting, browsing, or watching videos. Therefore, I came to you with 4 simple and easy daily habits that do not need you more than a minute, and your life will change for the better, and you will see that you make better use of the time. These 4 habits that we will mention now need only a minute of thinking and preparation, but by persevering with them, you can save up to 30 hours a week, and you can make sure of this by comparing your life before and after the commitment. The first habit, the time lock technique. In the event that you do not limit your time, you will waste a lot of it procrastinating without realizing it, and you will spend the wasted time lamenting and feeling guilty, which leads to wasting more time. In the time lock technique, we can divide the period of time we want, whether it is a day or a week, into small blocks or segments, each of which deals with a specific task. For example, in our problem here, we want to save 30 hours per week, which requires using time locking as a daily habit. Simply, try to divide tomorrow into small segments with appropriate tasks. Each segment of about 30 minutes contains a task that must be accomplished. That is, limit your time to 30s and start the next morning. This technique definitely eliminates procrastination because it eliminates the principle of determining the start of work, which is the cornerstone of procrastination. As happens when you say to yourself, "I will start working within 5 minutes." Then you discover that an entire hour has passed, and these 5 minutes have not started. But if there is a list of works and their specific times, you will notice through this technique that you not only do your work with a good frequency, but also get rid of the argument of lack of time that was destroying your day. The second habit, frog eating strategy, prioritizing. If I told you that you had 3 tasks today, 1 difficult, 1 of medium difficulty, and the 3rd easy, and I left you the freedom to choose between starting with one of the 3 tasks, what would you choose to start with? If you tell me the easy task, I will say God help you, because you will most likely not get anything done. But if you tell me I will start with the hard task, I will say, bravo, well done. You are a fan of the eating frog strategy. What is this strategy? Mark Twain said, "If you must eat a live frog, do it first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day." If we applied this saying literally, we would know that indeed, nothing bad can happen to you in your day. For example, more than being forced to eat a live frog. And therefore, if the first thing you do is to eat the frog, then you will rest for the rest of the day, because you have got rid of the worst business that you have for the day. By and large, the term living frog was just a euphemism for the most tiring chores on your daily to-do list, meaning if you get rid of the most annoying chores at the beginning of the day and put them at the top of the list, you'll feel like you can simply get the rest done. Why is the eating frog strategy the best? Simply put, it targets the most challenging task of your day, which leads to the most procrastination if you put it off by several hours. But if we start with it first and complete it, we will feel comfortable for the rest of the day, making us complete the rest of the work without wasting time, because we heroically got rid of the most difficult of them. You must combine the eating frog technique with time locking, so that you can put the hard task or tasks in the first 30s of the day and get it done. And remember, if your job is to eat a frog, you'd better do it first thing in the morning. And if your job is to eat 2 frogs, you'd better eat the bigger one first. The third habit, visualization of events, the method of sticking to plans. We all know that imagining the best is part of the process of improving the future. But as author Frederick Matthias Alexander says, people do not decide their future, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. That is, do not hope that your future will become better just because you envisioned and imagined your future will be bright and better. It is important to support ourselves psychologically and imagine a bright future. But most importantly, to be willing to let go of our wrong habits and stick to doing the right habits that are necessary so as to turn our fantasies into reality. And to do that, we need commitment. And to instill commitment, we can visualize the events that we must do daily and review it, meaning to remind ourselves at least twice what we should do today. For example, if you sit down and write today a list of some tasks in boxes divided into a table that contains the hours set for each task and the tasks in order. After I write my tasks on the paper, the next morning, tasking day, I try to do a quick mental review of what I plan to accomplish for the day. I will get up and write my essay at 8, then I will get dressed and go to the sugar company at 10, and then I will have lunch at 2, 10, and I'll come home at 3, then a short nap until 5, and I'll get up to take a bath and visit Grandma at 7, and so on. I reviewed my day within 1 minute in my imagination. That is, I forced my mind to remember everything written literally, to remind myself that yes, I have to do all of that. And this makes sticking to the daily plan easier, and thus limiting and exploiting time. The fourth habit: set the timer. One of the best ways to save time and restrain yourself from wasting it. Simply, as soon as your morning starts and you start working with the timer as well. Set it for an hour, half an hour, or an hour and a half, depending on the time you allocate for the first task, for example. And let it count the time while you work, and do not stop it unless you go to the bathroom, for example, or to drink water. Then turn it off while you relieve oneself, and restart it when you return. This technology works pretty cool, and here's why. This timer connects you to the task at hand and makes distractions nearly impossible because your brain is governed by the time allotted for that task. It knows the timer is on and the minutes are ticking. The brain works like you're in an exam. It stays focused. And here, your scheduled time created a sense of accountability. You will not let yourself down, because even if you decide in the middle of the task to browse Facebook, your subconscious mind will remind you that you are in danger. If you grab your device, you are in danger. Do you want just a fun app to be procrastinating? Don't even think about opening Facebook. You've already allocated time lock paper, time for fun and surfing, so just get on with your work.